A warm welcome to you all, wherever you are. Now, a circuit service of this nature involves input from many people. It is Margaret Clark who has constructed the service, and she will give us the sermon. Our readings will be provided by Reverend Audrey Simpson and Reverend Barbara Greenwood. The pastoral letter is by Reverend John Suk Kim, and I'm Nigel Saxton, who will act as worship leader. It's crucial also to thank those unseen who handle the technology needed to stitch together all the separate elements of a service like this into a coherent form. And now, special thanks to Margaret Clark. She's been kind enough to send me the call to worship, which I will now read. Today is the last Sunday of the Epiphany season. The Sundays when our worship is set against the background of the events of Jesus' birth and childhood, according to the lectionary for the relevant year. If you have still got your decorations up, Tuesday, February the 2nd, Candlemas, is your last opportunity to take them down. That is the day when we remember the presentation of the infant Jesus in the temple and his introduction to the old priest Simeon. So although our gospel for today is the beginning of Jesus' ministry, nevertheless, the events of his birth are still on our minds. The service is divided into 3 sections. Firstly, the section called Putting Ourselves in Perspective with God, remembering our relationship with God. After all, those are the first words Jesus taught us to say in the Lord's Prayer. Hallowed be thy name. So that is what we shall try to do using the words of our opening hymn, which also recalls briefly the offerings of the wise men, and in the words of our prayers. This section will continue with our prayers of confession and the declaration of forgiveness. We shall conclude this section with the psalm for today, a psalm of thanksgiving, a response for God's overall goodness to us. So then, the scene will be set for the hearing and receiving of the word. This second section will include the lessons and the sermon. Part 3 of the service will be our response to the hearing and receiving of the word. This will include the affirmation of our faith, the news and notices, our prayers of thanksgiving and intercession with the Lord's Prayer and our offering with its dedicatory prayer. It will also include the conclusion to our worship, a final hymn of praise and final prayers of blessing and dismissal. So now, let us join in whatever way we feel appropriate, as our first hymn comes to be, it's number 34 in Singing the Faith.